Brightburn stars Elizabeth Banks, David Denman, and Jackson A. Dunn, and is produced by James Gunn, who's gave us the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies and has written the two live-action Scooby-Doo movies that I grew up with. So the plot of Brightburn is that you meet this married couple named Tori and Kyle Breyer, and they're trying to have a baby, but unfortunately they can't. So one night, a mysterious spaceship crash lands on their farm, and it's a baby inside it. They decide to adopt this baby and name him Brandon, and through the first 10 years of his life, he is good, he's a good child, he's a good son, and they're very blessed to have him. So when he reached the point where he's 12 years old, when he gets to that, changes start to appear in Brandon. He starts becoming more disobedient, more disrespectful towards his parents, and he has a little bit of a crush on this girl named Caitlin, but she thinks different of him. So one day during school, he does do something bad, and then he finds out why he was brought on Earth, and instead of saving the world, he decides he has to take the world. Also plays a part where he basically keeps going into the barn in the middle of the night, and he hears the spaceship saying take the world. But once he does that, he starts becoming very evil, and he goes on a killing streak. So basically the plot I'm describing is that what if Superman was evil? I gotta tell you, Brightburn, definitely one of the more underappreciated ones here, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy Brightburn. I thought it was a very fun film. It's one of the better horror movies, and it's one of the best superhero movies for me personally of 2019. And this was a movie I didn't know much about going in, because all I knew was that James Gunn was producing it. So at the time, while he was making this movie, he was fired from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for a total of 9 months until March of this year, where Disney decided to rehire him, and I'm glad he's back to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3 after the upcoming Suicide Squad sequel next year. And he also did a pretty entertaining horror movie back in 2000 named Slither, which a movie that is very underrated. What I have to say is I appreciate the fact that James Gunn, he is a big superhero nerd, and I appreciate the fact that they wanted to do something different with Superman's origin. I really like the decision that they decided to go with, and this movie is written by Mark and Brian Gunn, which I'm pretty sure the Gunn family is pretty darn talented. This movie is not a part of the Superman franchise, which I appreciate, but in a lot of ways it actually does feel like this could be a part of the Superman movie series, because because you're basically doing the origin of Superman, but what if Superman was bad? And that's in that case you have Brandon. So that's why I really do applaud this movie for trying to do something new and do something different. They actually decided to go in a different direction with that, but there is enough in here to get me through. It's not like Venom, or it's not like Fantastic, where it's just completely devoid of story ideas and originality. Definitely give credit to where credit is due, and I do give them credit to the filmmakers for trying. So I must say, kudos to James Gunn on that. The acting is really great for the most part. You got Elizabeth Banks in here from The Hunger Games and Pitch Perfect. the end, the Lego Movie, Elizabeth Banks, she is a great actress, and she did a really great job in the directing department with Pitch Perfect 2. Yes, I know she's directing the new Charlie's Angels movie. Like I said, I'm not interested in the new Charlie's Angels. I wish they would have done a third one with the original 3 girls instead. But here, the acting is really great. As the mom, you see her confliction that she doesn't want to believe that Brandon is evil. But when it gets to a certain point at the end of the movie, she does have to say, yeah, I have to get rid of my son. And also, there's a lot of fun to be had with this movie. I do appreciate that. Because even though this is a horror film, this is also a superhero film. And the premise is very intriguing for the most part. But you get a lot of development on Brandon, and you do see a motivation that Brandon does have. And like I said, I praised Elizabeth Banks, but I haven't praised the dad. I really love the dad in this movie. He's really great. The actor who plays him, but there are moments in Brightburn where the dad is just in denial. Yeah. There you go, bro. And
I got you.
I'm telling you, I'm not joking around. He's in denial because he knows that Brandon is doing this, and the minute that Brandon starts acting out, I'm just sitting there saying out loud, you know he's the one responsible for these people getting killed. You should have easily done something when you found him in a spaceship. And David Denman, like I said, he is great in the role, but my goodness, you really is the worst dad of the year so far. I'm sorry. You are the worst father of the year, in my opinion. Because you know Brandon is the one killing all these people, and you don't do nothing about it until the end of the movie where you get killed like the dumbass that you are. Also, the music and cinematography and the way this movie is edited is really well done, and the special effects are very nice. And this movie only has a budget of $7 million, and they do use that to an advantage. In which that leads me into the big prize I have to get to, is the R rating. Now, this movie uses its R rating to its advantage with the profanity, but not only with the profanity, but with the violence. If you're not a fan of blood or gore, then you're not gonna really enjoy this, because you have Brandon breaking a girl's hand at school in gym class. You have him killing his uncle in a very horrific car crash. You have him killing his mom at the end. You have him killing the mother of Caitlin, in which that was a pretty intense kill, where her eye is basically cut out. And she has to pull the piece of glass out. And I'm just like, ooh, this movie got really violent. And Jackson Dunn as Brandon, aka Brightburn. Bright future right there, man. Bright future, because Jackson A. Dunn, he kills it as Brandon. He kills it as Brandon. There's not a lot of world build up here, and there's not a lot of risk taking as I was expecting, which is one of the big issues here. And another issue, it does go for the basic level stuff, and I feel like there could have been a lot more with that. I feel like this movie could have been a little bit longer, because this movie is only 90 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes, and I feel like you could have done a lot more with the film in terms of world build up and in terms of character development. We could have gotten more character development on Tori and Kyle. Other negative I do have is that I don't really care for the sequel bait ending. Yes, I would like to see a sequel, but I felt like we didn't get much development there, so I felt as we should have. But I must say, I was impressed with Brightburn. So at the end of the day, Brightburn will get in Epictastic. Originally, it was better than Vampire Diaries, but I said no, it's an Epictastic. It's Epictastic at best. So that was my review of Brightburn. Let me know what you guys think of Brightburn down below. Do you like it? Are you in between? Do you not like it? Be sure to follow all my social media links. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, share, retweet, and be sure to be a part of the Epitasticness. You guys keep it cool. Enjoy the Epictastic.